Hey guys, bear with me. I'm gonna have to dub over this whole video, and I had to fast forward it to get it to cut it down. It was over a 3 hour video, and I think that's why it didn't want to upload to YouTube. So just bear with me. Um, I apologize. I did not get the filming of making the clay pieces there, the piece that goes around the eye and the snakes. But just so you know, I mean, all I did was use polymer baking clay, and you can use any color you want because you're gonna paint them in the end. You see me looking there on my phone. I'm just trying to find a picture to reference to show me what the book looks like, where the stitches are gonna be. And eventually, I do find it. My internet was having some issues too, so I was having to go back in and try to find the same picture I'd found to begin with. But here you're going to see I've got the little eye ready. The eye is nothing but a ping pong ball, or, well, it's those eyes in a pack that you buy from Dollar Tree. And I just got the blue ones and I cut it in two. And it's kind of like a little small ping pong ball. But here I'm just using my heated gun. It's for to heat up stuff with, like vinyl and stuff. But I'm just heating these pieces a little bit so that I can actually move them and get them in my pans and get them ready to be baked. And in the oven, you're going to bake them for 325, and you're going to bake it for about 10 to 15 minutes. Well, 10 minutes is max. I wouldn't go 15. I think that'd be a little too much. But 10 minutes at the max on 325.
I put a spell on you. And now, you're mine. You can't stop the things I do. I am alive. It's been 300 years, right down to the day. Now the witch is back.
Alrighty, here I'm just gonna put the lines around the eyes and the book itself to make the lines where the stitching's gonna be. In After I do all this and I mark these areas where the stitching's gonna be, honestly, you really don't need to mark them because once you put that paper over it, you're not gonna see them anyway. So it's gonna be easier to actually go back and just roll up some paper towel and just or tissue paper and just put them where you want them. Because honestly, once you mark this like this, and I went back and done them dark marker so I thought, well, maybe it'd be easier to see. It bled through a little bit, so, but again, you're gonna paint it, so, but it did bleed through. Just want to let you guys know that. And it is kind of hard to tear this paper towel. So honestly, it would have been easier just to tear the paper towel up and make them all in little pieces and place them wherever you wanted them, and then go back and look at a picture for reference and roll up the paper towel and put it where you want your little areas to be stitched. Also, I meant to tell you guys, those little white strips that I have down the spine there, and then on the corners where the snakes are going to go on the corners and the spine, are just foam board. I could have made them out of that clay, but I decided I'd just cut them out of that white foam board, and it worked great. So just to let you know that that's all that is white foam board, and you can cut them to your shapes there for your corners of your books and for the spine.
It's been 300 years, right down to the day. Now the witch is back, and there's hell to pay. I put a spell on you, and now you're mine. And now, you're mine. You can't stop the things I do. I am alive. It's been 300 years, right down to the day. Now the witch is back, and there's hell to pay. I put a spell on you. And now you're mine! Hello, Salem! My name's Winifred. What's yours? I put a spell on you, and now you're gone. My whammy fell on you, and it was wrong. Your wretched little lives have all been cursed because of all the witches working. I'm the worst. I put a spell on you, and now you're mine. If you don't believe, you better get superstitious. Ask my sister.
She's vicious.
I put a spell on you, a wicked spell. I put a spell on you. I say enter pie, alpha baby, up and die. In comes Kuriyama. Hey, I say bye bye, bye bye. I put a spell on you, and now you're mine. You can't stop the things I do. I am alive. It's been 300 years, right down to the day. Now the
Alrighty, here I mixed, or didn't mix. I'll just put that pewter gray paint in my little paint tray, and I paint the white foam board, that pewter gray, and then the corners there. But I do go back and I do paint those with a color called pavement, because I couldn't find my black, or I was out of it. I couldn't. Anyway, I couldn't find it, so I assumed I was out of the black. But I don't know why I painted this pewter gray to begin with. Oh well, just I guess call it a base coat. But anyway, I do go back and I paint it with pavement and make it darker.
have all been cursed because of all the witches working. I'm the worst. I put a spell on you, and now you're mine. If you don't believe, you better get superstitious. Ask my sister.
She's vicious.
I put a spell on you, a wicked spell.
Here you see me paint the eye green, because the one on the movie is green. But I did kind of let the blue show through, and it give it like a hazel eye. And then I did take this brown nutmeg here, and I went in and done little tiny lines, like little star lines in the eye, because nobody's eye is, everybody's got just a tick of brown or black or something, or golds in their eyes. So you see me here go and make the little stars, and then I go back and I take a little white and I go in and highlight where I made those little lines, and make little white stars and a little white dot in the black. There you go. I held it up for you so you could see it for real quick. I apologize for having to make this fast though. If you have questions, please message me or link them down below, comments, and ask. I'll be happy to help. I do apologize for having to speed this video up and making it faster, just so it would be easier to upload. But here I'm just putting the paper towel around the eye to make the skin look around the eye, the eyelids and the lower eyelid. And I do add quite a bit of paper towel around it to make it look kind of puffy, just like the one on the video. Here I've already got my pieces glued down to the foam board, and I went ahead and attached the piece around the eye, and I did go back and paint them the pavement color. Also, you'll see I already made the little fingers for the spine out of the baking clay as well, and I'm just going around here on the spine and making the I don't know what you call it. It had a raised look around the fingers on the book on the for the movie, so I'm just kind of making it look raised up around where I'm going to put each finger.
You can't stop the things I do. I am alive. It's been 300 years, right down to the day. Now the witch is back, and there's hell to pay. I put a spell on you. And now you're mine! Hello, Salem! My name's Winifred. What's yours? I put a spell on you, and now you're gone. My whammy fell on you, and it was wrong. Your wretched little lies have all been cursed because of all the witches working. I'm the worst. I put a spell on you, and now you're mine. If you don't believe, you better get superstitious. Ask my sister.
She's vicious.
I put a spell on you, a wicked spell. I put a spell on you. I say enter pi, alpha, maybe up and die. In Kama Kuriyama. Hey, I say bye bye, bye bye. I put a spell on you, and now you're mine. You can't stop the things I do. I am alive. It's been 300 years, right down to the day. Now the witch is back, and there's hell to pay.
Here I'm just adding in some more paper towel around that eye. I waited till it dried so I could make it thicker around it.
And now you're mine! Hello, Salem! My name's Winifred. What's yours? I put a spell on you, and now you're gone. My whammy fell on you, and it was wrong. Your wretched little lies have all been cursed because of all the witches working. I'm the worst. I put a spell on you, and now you're mine. If you don't believe, you better get superstitious. Ask my sister.
She's vicious.
I put a spell on you.
Here I'm just using the glue gun to make those lines where it looks like the snakes are pulling on the skin on the front of the book.
I say enter pi, alpha, maybe up and die. In Kama Kuriyama. Hey, I say bye bye, bye bye. I put a spell on you, and now you're mine.
My fingers keep falling off, so eventually I do use E6000 and they stay on just fine.
I am alive. It's been 300 years, right down to the day. Now the witch is back, and there's hell to
I do go ahead and paint these fingers. I thought I'd use it pavement, but I decided that the fingers are going to be the color of the book, and that is using this brown color. Here I've got everything painted, the book, the snakes, everything. What I did was I went back over that black or pavement and used that pewter color and give it that lighter look to make it have a dimension. And now I'm going to go back over the places where it's raised for the stitches, and I just mixed some dark pavement and the melted chocolate apple barrel paints, and to give it dimension around where the stitching is supposed to be.
Put a spell on you. And now, you're mine. You can't stop the things I do. I am alive. It's been 300 years, right down to the day. Now the witch is back, and there's hell to pay. I put a spell on you. And now
Now here I take some antique white apple barrel paint, and I paint that eye. I think the eye's too white, so I go back in and I paint it to make it look more like it's really tired, and I cover up those bloodshot things that was on there. But also here I take some of the Puffy paint with some gold glitter, and I actually put it in that little bitty hole around on the eyepiece there, just to give it like there's a gem or something there. I don't put much. I just put a little bit just to give it a little different look. Here I've turned it over and I went ahead and done the back. And this is a hand that I made out of clay, and I didn't like it. So you'll see here, I'm going to change it out in just a few minutes. And I'm trying to figure out here about how I'm going to make the opening of the book. Excuse me. Instead of the eyepiece moving like the original one, I do put a hinge on the hand, and that way the little piece that looks like it's braided, the braided skin piece, will open up eventually. Will help open the book eventually. And sorry guys, I got tongue tied there. Anyway, that little skin piece that's going to hang there will be your open and shut. It's going to be on a hinge. And bear with me here. I'm making this little alien hand. That's what I called it. And I eventually look at it and think it looks too much like an alien hand, and I do not use it. So just bear with me here. I'll show you what I'm getting ready to use. So while I was painting that alien hand, I look up and there lays a hand off of one of those tongs, those skeleton hands from the Dollar Tree, but it doesn't lay flat. So what I do here is I cut the raised pieces down off of the base of the hand, and then I cut my fingers off of it, and I glue them all where it lays more flat. And it actually turns out really well. I showed you sandpaper there, and I'm trying to sand it a little bit, but actually I don't sand it at all. I do just a little bit, and eventually I just use that PVC pipe cutter, because that's what that big red handle thing is there, and that's what I use to cut every piece off of it. I cut the little raised parts on the palm of the hand, and I cut all the fingers off with that PVC pipe cutter. I even cut the fingers off my alien hand because I thought about using the fingers off it, but then I thought, no, everything about the little skeleton hand would look like it was going to work. So just bear with me. Here I'm trying to get it to lay as flat as I can, and my little PVC cutter doesn't want to cooperate either, so I'm having to really go back in and hand work each piece on that thing to make it cut. So, but here I keep laying it on top of that one and trying to figure it out. And here, like I said, I'm dissecting my alien hand here. So just bear with me. I eventually just throw the alien hand down and go with just use the skeleton hand. There's no reason to even make a clay hand unless you want to. Just run out to your dollar store real quick and grab you some of those tongs. Those tongs work good for everything.
And now you're mine. Hello, Salem. My name's Winifred. What's yours? I put a spell on you, and now you're gone. My whammy fell on you, and it was wrong. Your wretched little lies have all been cursed 'cause of all the witches working. I'm the worst. I put a spell on you, and now you're mine. If you don't believe, you better get superstitious. Ask my sister.
She's vicious.
I put a spell on you, a wicked spell. I put a spell on you. I say enter pi, alpha, maybe up and die. In Kama Koriyama. Hey, I say bye bye. I put a spell on you, and now you're mine. You can't stop the things I do. I am alive. It's been 300 years, right down to the day. Now the witch is back, and there's hell to pay. I put a spell on you, and now you're mine. Hello, Salem. My name's Winifred. What's yours? I put a spell on you, and now you're gone. My whammy fell on you, and it was wrong. Your wretched little lies have all been cursed 'cause of all the witches working. I'm the worst. I put a spell on you, and now you're mine. If you don't believe, you better get superstitious. Ask my sister.
She's vicious.
I put a spell on you, a wicked spell. I put a spell on you. I say enter pi, alpha, maybe up and die. In Kama Koriyama. Hey, I say bye bye. I put a spell on you, and now you're mine. You can't stop the things I do. I am alive.
After I have all the fingers glued back on and have it as flat as I can get it, I go ahead and paint it with the pavement color and then let it dry.
And there's hell to pay. I put a spell on you. And now you're mine. Hello, Salem. My name's Winifred. What's yours?
Here, I'm marking out to cut out my secret compartment. And like I said, this thing took me forever to cut out. And you have to keep digging and pressing harder and harder with your little X-Acto knife to get it to cut those pages. And eventually my hand got really, really tired, like I said, and I gave up and I only cut it about 1 inch deep. It turned out okay. I wished I would want it deeper if I was really going to do a secret compartment, but like I said, it was too much. So I wouldn't recommend doing it unless you just really want to.
I put a spell on you. A wicked spell. I put a spell on you. I say enter pi, alpha, maybe up and die. In comic Koreama. Hey, I say bye bye. I put a spell on you. And now, you're mine. You can't stop the things I do. I am alive. It's been 300 years, right down to the day.
Now I just went on the internet and I printed off some of these Hocus Pocus spells. And after I done that, I just crinkled them up to make them look older. And I took some brown shoe polish that I got at Dollar General, and mixed some of that melted chocolate apple barrel paint, and mixed those together with water to give me my rinse that made it kind of look like it was used and old, and it turned out fairly well. I was impressed with it. So, but here I'm gonna go in and try to. Well, I don't try to. I do. I glue Mod Podge my pages down, my little spells, and then I go back and eventually I do stain the white papers or pages of the book, and of course I never finished staining all of them, but I do go back and finish them eventually.
If you don't believe, you better get superstitious. Ask my sister.
She's vicious.
I put a spell on you. A wicked spell. I put a spell on you. I say enter pi, alpha, maybe up and die. In comic Koreama. Hey, I say bye bye. I put a spell on you. And now, you're mine. You can't stop the things I do. I am alive. It's been 300 years, right down to the day. Now the witch is back, and there's hell to pay. I put a spell on you. And now you're mine. Hello, Salem. My name's Winifred. What's yours? I put a spell on you, and now you're gone.
Here I just get some of that pewter that I've lightened up with a little bit of white, and I just go back over the hand with a dry brush, and give it that look of what I did the snakes and the little raised parts on the front. So just like I said, just dry brush over it, and that way some of your dark base color does show through.
And there's hell to pay. I put a spell on you. And now you're mine. Hello, Salem. My name's Winifred. What's yours? I put a spell on you. And now you're gone. My whammy fell on you. And it was
Now I'm just getting some more clay, and I'm going to make that little piece that we talked about earlier, the little skin piece that's braided. It looks braided, and it will hold your book together and shut. And that little hinges there I bought at Walmart. It comes 2 to a pack. They're like a 1.5 inch, I think. I'm pretty sure it's 1.5.
If you don't believe, you better get superstitious. Ask my sister.
She's vicious.
I put a spell on you. A wicked spell. I put a spell on you. I say enter pie, alpha maybe up and die. In comic Koreama. Hey, I say bye bye.
Here I'm just making that little skin piece that's going to hold our book together, that's going to go on the hinge, and I'm just making it look braided. That's all I'm doing, and doing both sides, so it'll be front and back, because you're going to see it both sides once it's open.
It's been 300 years, right down to the day. Now the witch is back, and there's hell to pay. I put a spell on you. And now you're mine. Hello, Salem.
Make sure when you put your hinge on that it opens all the way up,
I put a
so you're actually putting hinge on backwards.
my whammy fell on you.
Also, a word of advice, use E6000 glue and hot glue. That way it will stay on.
Cause of all the witches working, I'm the worst. I put a spell on you. And now you're mine. If you don't believe, you better get superstitious. Ask my sister.
She's vicious.
I put a spell on you. A wicked spell.
Now that I've got the little skin thing hanging on there, I won't call it skin tag. That sounded terrible. Now that I've got the skin piece hanging on the hinge and the hand, just glue your hand down. And I did use E6000 and hot glue to keep my hand stationary, because you're going to be working on that hinge pretty good there on the hand. So you want to make sure that stays down.
I put a spell on you. And now, you're mine. You can't stop the things I do. I am alive. It's been 300 years, right down to the day. Now the witch is back, and there's hell to pay.
And guys, also, I don't think I told you what I used to make the stitches with on front of the book. I used the Puffy paint brown, and it worked great. I thought I was going to get to go back over it and, make them, paint it different colors, but when it dried, I loved the look and the color of the stitches, so I just left them. And here I'm just showing you the secret compartment and the pages. And where I haven't finished, I didn't go back and age these, but I do eventually go back and age all the pages and get them all done. But just another word of advice. The book did take me 3 days to make, so the original video was like 3 hours and some, I don't remember the minutes long, but it was over 3 hours long, and I couldn't upload it to YouTube. So I went back and I've had to compress it this way and speed up the video to make it shorter. Hopefully this one's going to work and we can get it uploaded to YouTube so you guys can watch it. Also, you saw my skin piece fall off my closure because I did not have E6000 on it. So please make sure you use E6000 and hot glue to attach all your pieces. They will stay on a lot longer because the book's going to be moved and picked up and people are going to open it and shut it. So, and here is something I made for a previous project for a plate. All it is a margarita glass turned upside down with a plate holder or trinket holder, I guess you call it, book holder. All I did was hot glue it to that glass and paint it with some black paint. And it works great, and it actually worked great for holding this book as a little display piece.
Put a spell on you. And now, you're mine. You can't stop the things I do. I am alive. It's been 300 years, right down to the day. Now the witch is back, and there's hell to pay. I put a spell on you. And now you're mine. Hello, Salem.
Here I'm just showing you the closure. Of course I didn't have the magnet. I had to go get those, and what I bought didn't work. So I have to go back to the drawing board, get some smaller ones and stronger ones to put on it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, and share, and hit the bell button. That way you'll be notified each and every time I upload a video. Thank you guys. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.